So super excited this afternoon at our Leadership Unplugged to be with a former colleague, great friend of mine, Mike Asbery, who now is serving as Senior Director of Workmate Solutions at Workday. So congratulations on this move. Recent, right?
Yeah, recent, thank you. And well, glad to be here with you, Peggy.
Yeah.
Been with Workday for 2 months now.
And so tell me, did that involve a move?
It didn't involve a move. I had a previous move to the Bay Area for the last company I worked for. And
okay.
Luckily, actually, Workday is in Pleasanton, which is where I live.
Oh my God, commute is not...
It involved a major commute opportunity for me.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. And so you know a little bit about mobility because you actually sort of empathetically had to go through that journey, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so I want to come back at some point and talk about how that went. But you know, really we're here today and we're talking about disruption and change, and you work for an absolutely fantastic employer, albeit not for very long, but hopefully for a long time.
Absolutely.
Who is really trying to help solve the challenges in a full employment model world, right? Mm-hmm. And those kinds of things and what's going on. So talk to me just a little bit about not what it's just like there, but what is on their hearts and minds. What do you see come across your radar screen?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I just started my journey there, so I'm really trying to learn about the company and the things that are important at Workday. But I can say the reason that I joined the company is we're preparing for some aggressive growth in the next few years. So we're a 10,000 person company now. We're expecting to get to double that size within the next few years.
Wow, that's big.
And that's, you know, and so as a HR department, we're really focused on what do we need to do to deliver services at scale.
Yeah.
And that includes the work that my team is going to be doing. So I'm excited to be able to do that. And I'm also excited that to work for a company in which I can get to use the product and hopefully influence the product through the work that we do internally.
Yeah. That's awesome. You know, not that many years ago, a few years ago, I had the privilege of moderating a panel where there was an HR leader from Workday on the panel. One of the things that he talked about was the approach that you all take to talent acquisition. And he talked about a Sprint to Ireland program.
Yeah.
Are you familiar?
No,
not quite yet. Okay, maybe you didn't, because you were already there. But anyway, I thought it was one of the most progressive approaches they have to getting access to talent in a very competitive world. Yeah. You're talking about doubling the size of the organization there. So what are the disruptive things that you think might need to exist in order to get that talent to come on board in a full employment world?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think you know, we're going to have to be looking at talent worldwide. You know, the talent in the Bay Area is so competitive in the market, and to grow at that rate, I think we have to be looking outside of just the Bay Area. We're going to have to be looking worldwide, and it's both through acquisition and through organic growth. So both of those things at the same time.
You're going to have to play with that.
Yeah.
All right, you talked about that you made the move.
Yes.
So, you know, how was the move? Big transition?
It was a big transition, yeah.
A little bit of disruption?
A little bit of disruption, yeah. So as you know, I was in Seattle previous to that. I made the move 3 years ago to the Bay Area. My kids were in school. I have a son who's now 16, but he was...
You got a driver.
I have a driver, yes. That's got its own set of challenges, but you know, it was always a lot of change, but it was a great transition for us personally. And I think aided by the company that I was at the time, Western Digital, the relocation that they offered and the way that they thought about mobility helped us in that as well.
Well, you know what I think is so fascinating is you're talking about this and the disruption that sort of your family somewhat had. I think it's going to make you a more empathetic leader when you go to get that talent that you know is not going to necessarily be local.
Yeah.
Because one of the things we find in our industry is often managers make discretionary decisions on a suite of benefits and they don't know what it's like to go through the journey.
Yeah.
And it's a really frustrating sort of dynamic that we play with. So, but so you got a driver in the family now.
I do.
All right, but tell me, Halloween's coming up.
Halloween's coming up.
Is that driver going to be out there grabbing the candy? Or giving away the candy?
You know, I think at this point he's going to be finding the party that his friends want to, you know, be at.
The cool kid.
Yeah.
The cool kid.
So I have a daughter who's a little bit younger. She's 13, and so I think she's on her last trick-or-treating journey
Yeah.
this year. We'll be, watching her go out and get some candy.
So what's her costume?
I actually don't know yet.
Michael, you don't have very much time.
Yeah, I know. I think I'm going to have to ask her that question.
There you go. Hey, it was a pleasure. Great to see you. Thanks so
Thank
much
you.
for being here.